Hello, friends. This is the program Empire of Lies, where we discuss manipulation and disinformation in Russian media. America returns to 19th century style, how Russian TV explains the operation against Venezuela and global chaos. Russian state television is using the Trump administration's foreign policy initiatives as a convenient new backdrop to portray Western policy as chaotic, imperialistic, and economically desperate. The latest example is the reaction to the US-announced Operation Southern Spear, aimed against Latin American drug cartels, on the program The Great Game. For Russian audiences, this operation is not presented as a police operation or an anti-terrorist operation. On the contrary, television interprets it as a return to the logic of Monroeism. The Western Hemisphere is the America zone. Any states independent of Washington are seen as an obstacle, and Venezuela is a lucrative prize but one. Venezuela as the default target and the revival of the American sheriff image. Russian television presents an extremely simplified yet emotionally effective narrative. The US announces an operation against drug traffickers, but the real target is the world's richest oil reserves. Washington uses the fight against cartels as a pretext for a regime change in Caracas. This narrative leaves no room for international law or the details of American policy. The essence of the propaganda conclusion is simple. America, just as it did 100 years ago, considers every state in the region its prey. This is precisely why Russian television emphasizes symbolism, renaming the Ministry of Defense to the Ministry of War, calculating the cost of changing signs, and reminiscing about Libya, Afghanistan, and Iraq. The television narrative is constructed as if the US is preparing in advance for yet another small victorious war that will ultimately destroy yet another country. It is particularly emphasized that Washington no longer even promises Venezuela democracy or a better future after regime change. This is an important detail. Russian propaganda is attempting to show that American policy is openly cynical and devoid of even the pretense of previous humanitarian arguments. 2. The US economy as a driver of aggression. Television re-explains the logic of the crisis. The segment contains another key construct. America starts wars when faced with the threat of recession.